Hello and welcome to Mining Review Africa, and we are coming to you from DRC Mining Week 2025. And today we are chatting to Mbembo Bembo of First Bank DRC. Mbembo, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi, Charles. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Now let me start by asking you, what are your company's objectives and goals for this particular region?
Okay, so First Bank DRC has been recently heavily involved in the mining sector.
Yeah.
Especially catering with some of the top tier one companies in the region. So our objective is now to increase our relevance in the sector by cascading down our product and services to some of the value chain players within the region.
Okay. Now, given your growth in the region's mining sector, how are you helping to grow the region's mining value chain?
Okay, so I'll take it back a bit. We know that a lot of the key mining actors are some launching out their production and some required capex for expansion phases. So we came in as a financial institution to provide funding to some of those mining players. Now, we know that those mining entities do not rely on themselves. So they have a chain of subcontractors that they rely on. So this is where we come in to support, not only offer the typical banking operational services, but to also assist them with funding if they need, whether it's working capital facilities to be able to increase their capacities to deliver to those mining entities. It could be maybe short-term financing to bridge a gap while they wait of payment for those mining companies. So this is where we come in as a bank to offer dedicated solution depending on the sector. You have, for example, mining that needs mining subcontractors who might have equipment. So we could also come in to fund that equipment that could be required. So we tailor to specific needs when it comes to the services and that we provide to the mining subcontractors.
Okay. Now, some will say that there's a risk affiliated with financing companies, especially subcontractors, etc. How do you mitigate those risks as First Bank DRC?
Okay. I mean, of course, as you rightly say, there's a risk. So we run a full analysis. So we look at the company, the sector they're involved in. We take a look at the history of the company as well. If they already have a relationship, an existing relationship, and they have consistency on the product or services they might offer to those mining entities, that gives us additional comfort to say this is an entity we can work with, we can finance. So it wouldn't necessarily be the first entity that comes in who manage to receive a purchase order that will fund with our eyes closed. So we do our due diligence. Sometimes we might even require some additional information from the mining companies that gives us additional comfort to go ahead and offer the necessary funding.
Okay. Now, First Bank has got a very expansive footprint in the region, but talk to me about the importance of First Bank DRC and why it is so keen on expanding its footprint in the country's mining sector.
So First Bank DRC has been present following the repurchasing of BIC over 11 years ago in 2014. But we have to keep in mind that we're part of the First Bank Group, which is over 130 years old. So one of the oldest banks in Africa. We present in outside of DRC in Nigeria, 6 additional countries. That also includes the United Kingdom, Guinea, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Gambia, just to name some of the other countries where we're present in. So in DRC, we actually have a footprint of 44 branches. Wow. In the Katanga region specifically, we have 5 branches. So in Lubumbashi, Likasi, Kalemi, Pweto, and Kolwezi. And we've recently opened up 2 additional QSPs, so that we call quick service points, in Lubumbashi and Kolwezi. So we definitely have appetite for the mining sector, hence our presence at the DRC Mining Week, and we actually want to deepen our footprints.
Okay. Now, you touched on your presence at DRC Mining Week, and First Bank DRC has had a long association with the event. Why do you sponsor the event?
So DRC Mining Week, outside of being one of the top exhibitions in DRC is a key function for us because it allows us to, for the ones who don't know us, to showcase our capacity, ability, knowledge of the mining sector, as well as meet existing clients. So we have our top executive who came from Nigeria for the event. So we took advantage of actually being here and doing some visits, meet some clients, did some on-site visits. In addition to that, it's allowing us to actually network with some of the potential prospects that we have for existing clients while listening in and participating in some of the panels, because some of the themes that are addressed in those panels are critical and pivotal for the expansion of the DRC sector. So this morning, our executive in charge of corporate banking and mining participated in a panel in which we discussed the roadmap of the mining sector in DRC, which was very pivotal for us to, as a financial institution, to add our thoughts and debates around it because it's key.
Okay. One final question, Mbembo. Talk to me about your corporate social responsibility initiatives, especially in the DRC, and how this is benefiting local communities.
So it is key for us. So we have a big emphasis on the corporate and social and environmental related points. First of all, I would say as a financial institution, we often contribute. So we have a CSR week in which we provide donations to, recently we've done to schools, orphanages, hospitals. So as an institution, we donate. But at the same time, when we fund or we work with a client, we also ensure that they abide to all our ESG principles, which is also key for us because not only we making sure that we do our parts as a financial institutions, but we also ensure that the clients that we work with follow and abide to the same rules and principles we have when it comes to CSR.
Okay. Well, Mbembo Bemba of First Bank DRC, thank you very much for joining us on Mining Review Africa. And thank you also for your continued association with DRC Mining Week.
Thank you to you, Gerard.